Well, hi there. I see you coming around here. I wonder why. Didn't all the videos, scripts, documents, books, and instructions on Arabic work for you? Obviously not. You tried applications, you tried courses, you tried memorizing vocabulary lists, you tried grammar explanation that definitely felt like mathematics. And yet, you are still searching. Didn't you come for this? Well, let me tell you something clearly from the very beginning. Arabic is by no means difficult. Who actually says that? Think about it. Mostly, those whose first language is English argue that Arabic is a difficult language, if not impossible. They are unable to see Arabic beyond their narrow English perspective. They analyze Arabic using tools that were never built for it. And when the method fails, they blame the language. So the myth was born. Arabic is so hard. No, actually it's not. Arabic is simpler than you think. It's just that no one ever showed it to you correctly. And that's what I'm here for, to change that. I will show you Arabic in a way no one has ever shown it to you. Not simplified, not diluted, not translated into English thinking, but understood on its own terms, in a way that will make you unrecognizable as a learner of the language rather than being born to it. What do I mean by that? Think about this. How many people graduated from the Arabic specialization in college? Years of study, years of exams, and years of certificates. Yet the moment they speak Arabic, you immediately know they learned it. But why? Now compare this to English learners or Chinese learners or even Scandinavian languages learners. Sometimes you cannot tell whether English, Chinese, or the Scandinavian languages is their own mother tongue or not. So what happened? What's the difference? I will tell you why. They were taught Arabic the wrong way, exactly the same way you were taught. And this is precisely what brought you here. Here, we learn Arabic from the inside out. We do not force Arabic to behave like English or any other language. We do not translate thought by thought. We do not memorize disconnected rules. Instead, we see Arabic as it should show itself, without filters. We look at the language as pure as it is, how it is produced, how it is spoken, how it is written, and how it thinks, to the point that people will not recognize whether you learned Arabic or Arabic grew with you from childhood. How would I know how to do this? Because neither English nor Arabic is my mother tongue. I learned both from zero. No shortcuts, no linguistic privilege, no inherited intuition. And after years of asking why others could not see what I clearly saw when I compared both languages, I realized this. Languages are actually judged through the lens of our mother tongue. And that lens distorts everything. To be honest, so far, English remains the most difficult language I have ever learned, and I have learned quite a lot. I am currently entering my 8th language, Spanish, and what surprised me the most is that Spanish feels easier to me than English. Why? Because of its similarities to Arabic, the structure, the clarity, the predictability, which brings me to the most important point. What makes Arabic easier than most languages? Only when it's learned correctly. The logic, the consistency, the honesty of the language itself. Arabic tells you what it is doing, and then it keeps its promise. Unlike English, where rules exist and expectations multiply endlessly, Arabic does not behave that way. Learning Arabic is simply like learning how to swim. You move your arms in a certain way and you move your legs in coordination in a certain way as well. You practice, you do it again until you master it. And whether you swim in a river, a sea, an ocean, or a pool, the method never changes. Arabic works exactly the same. Once you understand a rule, a structure, a pattern, you follow it across the entire language. Exceptions exist though. Yes, they do, but they are rare. And when they appear, their reasons are so logical that memorization becomes unnecessary. You understand them, and understanding replaces struggle. There is only one aspect of Arabic, and there is much more beyond it. Now here at Baytul Lugha, we take responsibility for showing you Arabic in a different way. Not randomly, not occasionally, not whether motivation appears, but through 365 structured days. One day, one concept, one step forward every single day. Each concept comes with practices and examples you can study anytime, anywhere, at your own pace. This is a self-paced journey built from scratch. You are not joining scattered lessons, you are entering a system. And we know this system works because it already has. I taught Arabic from zero to many of my students, especially to my partner whose native language is English, and at the same time, I taught it to a Spanish-speaking friend. Two different languages, two different ways of thinking, two completely different struggles, yet both moved forward, not at the same speed, but through the same path, the same course, and the same structure. Because the system does not force learners into one mold, it adjusts to how you see the language. Your weaknesses become training points, and your strengths become momentum. So everyone here advances on their own pace through the same system. How does this course work? This course is divided into 5 stages across the 365 days. Not a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level, and not A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. labels that tells you nothing about real ability. Instead, these are real developmental stages. Each stage addresses 2 fundamental questions. At the beginning of each stage, you pause, ask yourself, what have I truly mastered so far? Because this stage doesn't start from scratch. It builds on what you have already secured from the previous stage. Not what you recognize, not what you vaguely remember, but what you can actually do. Once you answer that honestly, you move forward. You train, you practice, you struggle, you adjust, and gradually you master. Then at the end of the stage, you ask the second question. What can I now do that was impossible at the beginning of this stage? This is where progress becomes visible. When you can answer that question clearly, you stop guessing whether you are improving, but you see tangible evidence that you are moving forward, not only speeding up with motivation. You now have evidence, proof. You can see the distance between who you were at the beginning of the stage and who you have become by completing it. You recognize new abilities. You notice what is becoming second nature. You understand why this stage was necessary and why you are ready for the next one. That answer gives you direction. It gives you confidence. It confirms that your effort produced real change. Every stage begins with awareness and every stage ends with proof. You do not advance because time simply has passed. You advance because your ability has changed. These stages are birthed from real teaching experience. They evolve, adapt, and grow with students because language learning is not linear. It is a life, and life is never linear. What are the 5 stages? Stage 1, literacy. And I will be calling you المتعثرون, the stumbler. At this stage, you need zero knowledge. No alphabet, no sounds, no preparation, only commitment. Here you learn sounds, letters, vowels, word constructions, including writing skills, sentence foundations. By the end of this stage, you read focalized Arabic, you will be able to write simple words and sentences, and you will hold basic conversations perfectly. And most importantly, you pronounce Arabic correctly and accurately. This stage builds literacy. Stage 2, control, which I'll be calling you al-mukassarun, the broken speakers. At this stage, you are no longer trying to recognize letters, words, or meanings. Instead, you are using the language. You learn verbs, agreements, pronunciation flow, and sentence movement. At this stage, confidence replaces hesitation. You read without 100% of vowel markings. You recognize patterns and unfocalized words in sentences. You would also be able to write connected sentences and discuss real topics. At the end of the stage, you have the confidence to start producing, not just consuming. Stage 3, critical thinking, which I will be calling you al-mutafalsifun, the overthinkers. At this stage, you move from sentences to ideas. Arabic becomes a thinking language. You read arguments, you analyze meaning, you express opinions clearly. At this stage, you are no longer learning Arabic. You are thinking in Arabic and establishing its own home within you. Stage 4, mastery. And I will be calling you al-mutamakkinun, the ones in control. At this stage, you move from competence to ownership. Arabic is no longer something you study. It becomes part of you. You read classical works and literary texts from different periods of history with ease. You understand native speech at full speed across multiple dialects. You speak and write with precision, shaping your thoughts into clear and accurate language. Not like a learner, but like someone who belongs to the Arabic language. Stage 5, authority, which I will be calling you Ahlul Bayan, the people of expression. At this stage, learning disappears. You no longer chasing fluency. You contribute, you teach, you critique, you translate, and you create ideas in Arabic. You belong to the language at this stage. And by the end of it, you are no longer recognized as someone who learned Arabic, but as someone who shaped by it. How the 360 days work. These 360 days follow a different philosophy. Each lesson includes a video, a downloadable PDF or couple more, sometimes a deeper article. The videos are for the basic concepts explanation with examples, and the PDFs are for deeper practices that go along with the videos. And articles are usually for those moments that you wonder, but why does Arabic do it this way? Everything is yours. You move at your own pace. You pause whenever and repeat endlessly. And you are welcome to come back anytime you desire. No pressure, no deadlines, only progress at your own pace. Why I teach this way? I learned Arabic at a very young age, and memorization was the only thing that never made me fluent. But reading did. Seeing patterns repeat through readings, allowing the language to reveal itself gradually is what actually made me fluent faster than the typical Arabic learner. And that is the philosophy here. I do not force fluency. We build understanding with a strong foundation, and fluency follows understanding naturally. So, if Arabic has confused you until now, if every course felt incomplete, if every explanation left you with more questions than answers, then this might be the first time you are seeing Arabic correctly and clearly, and possibly your last chance to see it without distortion, because most learners give up at a point equivalent to the first quarter of our first stage, long before real learning even begins. Not because Arabic defeated them, but because no one showed them how to move forward with less memorization and more understanding. But you are here now, exactly where you should be. So use this moment and tell me, what is your mother tongue? And what is one thing that you have heard about Arabic that sounds intimidating, confusing, or simply you believe is not correct? Is there anything about the language you want to be clarified? Because future lessons will be built around real learners, not imaginary students. So let's finally build something that works together. In the next video, we start from zero. No alphabet knowledge required, no preparation required either. Only curiosity and the willingness to begin. So, I will see you next time. Until then, stay curious.